welcome to episode 21 of avec. My name is Anna and this is a knitting, yarning and sewing podcast from the southwest of England. You can find me pretty much everywhere on internet with the name avec Anna, but mostly on Instagram where I'm quite active, very active. I do have a Facebook page as well, but it's usually the same content as on Instagram. I have a blog, avecana.com, when you can find my links to my patterns, as well as tutorials for knitting and sewing, as well as sewing and knitting articles about what I'm making in general, my different projects. And because I'm a full-time knitwear designer, you can find my patterns on Ravelry, and I'll put all the links as usual in the description box below, and then I'll put all the links about what I'm talking about in an article on my blog. So again, the link will be below. As always, I want to say a huge thank you to any returning viewer. Thank you very much, I really appreciate. And welcome to any new viewers, because I've been recording in French for more than 2 years, as I said in the past. But I only started recently to do it in English, and I had a lot of very good feedback. So thank you very much. Thank you for taking this time of your day to chat and to listen to what I'm telling you about all the project, all the yarn, all the fabric. I'm really pleased that you're here. So as I said, it's been 2 months, over 2 months, the last time I recorded. I did record the French episode of this, the same episode, 21st, last week. I was planning on recording straight away in English, because usually I try to do it the same time or the next day, but the weather has been absolutely terrible in England, anyway where I live for sure. It's been stormy, a lot of rain, really dark, so it was just not working in my house, because I only work with the daylight, I don't have other lights. So it was terrible, the lighting was really not nice, and the noise of the rain and all that. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait and have a nicer weather to record. So here I am. So I'm gonna do the same content as I did in the French podcast last week, but I guess if you watch in English, it means you don't understand French, so we're good. So for today's episode, I have quite a lot of finished objects. I do have project on my needles, but I can't show you everything, as I said, because I design most of the thing I'm knitting now. I can't really show everything on YouTube. So for the behind the scene, I have a Patreon page, but the Patreon page is only in French. So I try to do bilingual for everything, all my social media, all my patterns obviously, my website, everything is bilingual, this YouTube channel, but the Patreon page is only in French. So yeah, sorry about that if you can't speak French. Anyway, so I'm going to show you, I've got quite a lot of stash enhancements as well, and I bought fabrics, so let's crack on. So we're going to start by what am I wearing today. I'm wearing one of my finished objects, so then it's perfect. I think I did show it to you last time as a finished object. And it's one of my pattern, and it's the one that I just released, when was it? Last week, so yeah, early November, like first week of November I did release it. It's called the Suzy Sweater. So I'm gonna show it to you, because last time I didn't have it on, so now I'm showing to you on me. So it's knitted in this amazing yarn from the Wool Barn. So I'm a huge fan of the Wool Barn. You'll see I knit a lot of Maya's yarn. And this is the twist sock base. So I think it was merino and nylon in the bramble colorway. So it's tiny speckles, tiny purple pink speckles. And I knitted it with mohair, so look at that, fluffy. And for the mohair I used the drop stitch silk, and the colorway was white, and I really like how they blend together. It's like, it was quite hard to find a mohair. Sometimes I find it hard to find a mohair that will blend well with the other base, and for this one the base was kind of like beige, light pink, and I decided to go for white to be sure. And it's just, yeah, really happy. So yeah, so the Suzy Sweater is now released. Last time it wasn't yet. I think the testing was still happening. Yeah, it was September, so it was probably even just starting. So the testing is done, and it's now released on Ravelry under the name of Suzy Sweater. So it's a really simple raglan, top-down raglan sweater with a round neckline. The idea was to have a very basic, cozy jumper, and to have a pattern that will be very accessible to beginners, because a lot of my patterns are accessible to beginners, but I really wanted one that would be, okay, if you want to start like your first jumper, just go with this one, because you know it's really easy, it's simple, but it has nice details, and then at the same time the instructions are really clear, really easy to understand. So I wanted it to be the go-to pattern for beginners, but as well for advanced, if you want, you know, like a no-brain project, something like a wardrobe staple or something like that. So yeah, so it has very long ribbing, 2x2 ribbing here and there. So the round neckline, as I said, and then quite long as well, but less long than the sleeves, but yeah. So, and I do have 5 centimeters of positive ease on that one, which is what I recommend. So yeah, so it was quite nice because Maya from the Wool Barn did some pre-orders on this yarn, because a lot of people asked me if they could buy the bramble and do the same one. So she did a pre-order last week, which was nice, and I actually bought 3 skeins of the bramble for my mom, because she wants to start knitting in the round. She's been knitting, you know, flat for quite a while, but she only knits like commercial patterns, I would say. So we have a brand in France that is called Fil d'Art, and it's one of the biggest knitting brands, but like flat patterns. They sell pattern and they sell yarn. So usually, you know, you go in the shop and you say, okay, I would like to make whatever, like a cardigan, and they're gonna sell you the pattern with the yarn that goes with it. So I don't really know which brand you could have in England that is like that, kind of like a bit old-fashioned, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, so she's been knitting only that, and she likes knitting, but she doesn't have the addiction yet. And I kept saying, like, you should knit in and around, you should try, you'll see, you'll love it. And she thought it would be a good pattern to start. So I said, yeah, obviously it will. And then because my sister would like to knit as well, but she doesn't know anything. She only did one flat cardigan or jumper like 2 years ago or so. My mum was like, okay, let's try this and we'll do all together, and then Anna will, well, the 2 of them, and I'll be there to help them. So I did buy yarn as well for my sister, the twist sock base too, I think, but it's in another colorway, like blue colorway, so I'll have to find a mohair that will blend well with that blue, but I can't show it to you now anyway, because I just ordered the yarn last week, so I'll probably have it within the next 2 weeks or so. So anyway, just to say that it's a really good beginner pattern. And for me, I'm not like I've heard that the kit silk from Drops was a bit itchy for some people, but I think the other one, which is called, oh, I can't remember. There is the kit silk, and then there is another one, but I can't remember the name of the other one. The other one is less good. I think in time it gets worse, and it's not as good, but this one is not too bad. Again, I try not to knit too much drop yarn anymore, for like a reason you've probably heard on other podcasts. And what they do is with independent designer designs, things like that. So I try not to buy from them, but I have to say that the mohair, I couldn't find anything good. You know, I didn't have yarn support for that one, so I couldn't find really anything good for a cheaper budget for mohair. So yeah, so exceptionally I bought from them for that. So yeah, Suzy Sweater, really happy with that. What else did I do? Okay, so last time I had on my needles the start of a hat that I finished since. So this is the Dandelion Hat. Again, basically what I'm going to show you today is only patterns that I've designed because I haven't had time to knit anything else. I'm struggling a bit between knitting my own design and then wanting to knit other people's designs, and it's just, it doesn't work to knit everything. I would need like at least 10 more hours in the day, like everyone else. So yeah, so they're all my designs for this one. This one is the Dandelion Hat. So, to tell you a bit of the history, I started designing in summer 2017, so a tiny bit over a year ago, and my first pattern was released end of August 2017, and it was called the Dandelion Cardigan. So I'm going to show it to you. Here it is. So it's a very cute cardigan, which is bottom up. Because if you want the dandelion to be on the right side, like flowers, then you have to knit it bottom up. You don't have any choice. So it's a bottom up cardigan for children from size 3 months to 10 years old. And that was my very first pattern that I released. This cardigan, I'm just going to say in the same time, this cardigan was actually white. And I did a mistake a few weeks ago of putting it on my little girl, who's going to be 3 next week, for nursery. And it was white. So okay, very bad choice, I know. But she didn't have any other like cardigan or sweater that were clean. Don't know what happened with the laundry that day. So I was like, oh, you know what, it's usually okay, they come back not too bad, I'm just going to put it on, this time it'll be fine. Except that when I went to pick her up, her cardigan was full of paint, like full of red stains of paint. Oh my god, I was so sad. So I tried to wash it twice, and no, it wouldn't come out. So I was like, what am I gonna do? It's still good. I was so gutted. And one of my friends said, well, you should try to dye it. Oh yeah, not bad. So I do have some jacquard dyes that I bought on Knit Picks last year. And I used the teal colorway, I think it's called, or maybe Sprouse? Can't remember how it's called, but it's like a teal color. And I used it, put it in the pan, and here it is. And I'm really pleased with the result, considering it was white, full of stain, and now it's all perfect. So I've just put 2 pictures on my Instagram of my little girl wearing it, if you want to see with the better lighting. And yeah, I'm really pleased. So anyway, so that was the first cardigan I released, Dandelion Cardigan. Then, right after, I released the Dandelion Bonnet for babies and children until size 3 years old. So white. So basically it was the same white as the cardigan because it's the same yarn. So again, you can see the very pretty flowers and then the crown. And then I-cord. So yeah, so I do, I've seen a lot of people making the set of the cardigan and then little bonnet, which is really nice. So that's what I released in 2017, and because the Dandelion Cardigan was really, I don't know, people really loved it and asked for an adult version. So then in March this year, I did the adult version of the Dandelion Cardigan. And it's called Lady Mademoiselle Dandelion. Can't remember if I've shown it to you already or not. So yeah, and this one was knitted in Eden cotton yarn, and the colorway was Stone Crop, I think, something like that. Can't remember now. Very, very nice yarn, with some cashmere inside. Very nice yarn, very nice definition. I really love it. So anyway, that was the adult. And then I thought, oh, I want to make a hat. So that's why the Dandelion Hat is kind of like the fourth of the collection. So if you've never bought any of my dandelion pattern in the past, I just did on my Ravelry store a dandelion collection, which features the four patterns. So the hat for children and adults, but it covers the size 1 covers children's head. So Dandelion Hat, Dandelion Cardigan, adult and children, and then Dandelion Bonnet. And you can have it for a small, like with a small percentage off compared to if you buy the 4 patterns one by one. So yeah, here it is. I'm really, really pleased. So this one, I was planning on releasing it, I don't know, maybe like January or something, because I don't like to release too many patterns the same month, because I don't want like people to feel overwhelmed. But then because I showed it on the French podcast, I had so many good feedback about it, and people were like, oh, I can't wait, like you should release it now, blah blah blah, want to make it. So then I decided to release it on Monday. So today we are Tuesday, so I released it yesterday. So you can find it in my Ravelry store, and I've got a small coupon code until Wednesday evening. So yeah, here it is. Very, very comfy. So it's really comfy, but at the same time it's really light, because it was knitted with fingering weight yarn and mohair together. So again, like exactly like the Suzy jumper, Suzy Sweater. So you can see, so you've got like pink, a pink finger weight yarn, and more like purplish mohair. But I quite like how they blend together. And then this very nice pom-pom that I bought in Montreal when I was, at the time I was living there. So yeah, Dandelion Hat. So I finished that really quickly, which was nice. Just gonna drink a bit of tea, speaking too much. Okay, so after that, what did I finish? Last time I had finished it already for quite a while, but I couldn't show it to you because the pattern wasn't released yet. So I did show you just that, I think. And I just wanted to tell you about the yarn last time, which is the yak base from the Wool Barn again. So 60% merino superwash, 20% yak, 20% silk. And this is the RL jumper. Ta-da! So the RL jumper is a boxy jumper, drop shoulders, as you can see. So knitted in this yak base, and it features a very nice stitch, you know, that you see a lot in the bottom, and that fades, which fades to the top. So then you don't have any of the stitch like on the shoulders or on the sleeves. And it's the same behind at the back. So you've got the stitch there, and then slowly fades, and boop, there's no stitch. So yeah, so I absolutely love this knit. And I don't say that because I've designed it. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I love my pattern. It's not that. It's just that since I've started knitting, I've seen so many people knitting boxy sweaters. And because I'm quite petite, well, very petite, I've never tried to wear that, to knit one or to wear a boxy sweater, because I really thought it would not fit my size. And I will look just like even smaller than I am. So I've never tried it, and then I kept looking at them. I was like, you know what, you should just try once, and if you don't like it, then it's fine, you know, you don't have to release the pattern, you don't have to wear it, it's okay. So it's like, okay, I should really try. And then I thought, worst case, if, you know, I don't like the style on me, but I like the pattern, I can still, you know, ask my sister to model it for me, because she's a bit slimmer than me and a tiny bit taller, and that style really fits her. So I thought about that. I was like, worst case, I just asked my sister. So I had this idea of this stitch which fades to the top for quite a while, and I really wanted to work on that. So I used Maya's yarn for the design, and I used less than 4 skeins to make the size 102 centimeters of bust circumference. So I have 23 centimeters of positive ease on my version. And I recommend between 20 and 25, because it has to be, you have to have quite a lot of positive ease to have a nice boxy sweater, and then you need to have some silk in your yarn to actually have this drape that is really nice. This one is just so drapey, it's just perfect. If you only take like 100% merino, it's gonna be like quite rigid, won't have this drape that is nice on boxy sweater. So if you like it, it's fine, but then you should maybe do a bit less of positive ease than my version, for example. So that was the version I did for the pictures, and I finished that in the summer. And because I had some yarn left, I decided to make a hat to go with it. So this is the RL hat. So, and the idea is the same. You've got a really big brim, like a double one, and then here, and then the stitch which fades to the top, and quite a nice crown here, decreases crown, and a little pom-pom that I made with the same yarn. So yeah, really happy. It's so soft. It's really, really soft. Someone asked me recently what I was thinking about the yak, because she said that she heard that yak was really, I don't know, it was a bit like single yarn, you know, you're like, oh, be careful because it doesn't stay nice long, and it's, I don't know what she meant, if it peels or whatever, I don't really know. For me, to be honest, I wore this version quite a lot, so I'd only, it's only been a few months I've made it, not a few years, so I don't really know how it's going to look like in 2 years' time, obviously, but for the moment it's really nice. It's warm, but not too much. It's super soft. Yeah, really like it. So the hat was finished like almost in the same time. I finished that before I came back to England after the summer, so I think it was like mid-August or something like that. So yay! And then because I absolutely loved my jumper, and because I wanted to wear it a lot, and because I try not to wear too much my samples, like I want to wear them obviously, but I want to keep them nice in case I want to do other pictures or I want to show them or something like that. So usually when I really, really like the style of the pattern that I've made, and I know I'm gonna wear it a lot, I try to do another version, a second version that I will wear even more. So I haven't had time to do that for the Dandelion, for example. It's the only Dandelion that I have, but I really want to make another one because I wear this one quite often. So yeah, but for the moment it's still good. So, but I just don't have time to knit like few different samples, and it's just, yeah, always the same problem. But for RL, I knew in the winter I'll wear that a lot, so as Maya did a pre-order for her yak DK base in all the colorway, I decided to buy more yarn and another version, especially as it's knitting so quickly, honestly. So this one took me about 3 weeks because I was designing it, so I had to unravel, start again, blah blah blah. But the second one, I've knitted it in 8 days, which is insane, I know. When I said that on Instagram, a lot of people were like, oh, how do you do? You know, it's been 3 weeks and I still haven't finished, like, whatever I'm making. And I didn't say it to try to show to people that I'm knitting quickly, and that's good, because I try not to be into the fast fashion. But I don't know, I was just so into it, and I wasn't even knitting every day. Well, I was with, no, I'm lying. I was knitting every day, but I wasn't knitting like all day long. I was only knitting in the evening and a bit in the day, like quickly, 30 minutes or so. But the yarn was so soft, and it was just, I don't know, like flying on my needles. Honestly, it was just a pure joy to knit. So yeah, anyway, I've done it in 8 days, which is quite insane. And this is the second version that I've made. So same yak DK base from the wool barn, but this time the colorway is denim. So same. And yeah, I love it. So I'm gonna put it on to show you how it looks like. So here it is. Don't know if I can show you. Ah yeah, show you better. So here it is. So you see I've got like about 20, I should have the same 23 centimeters because I've made the same size and it's the same yarn. So usually I didn't swatch a second time, I just used the same needles, but maybe I was knitting a bit tighter. I don't think so. I think it's the same. I checked and it's the same positive ease. So yeah, and then obviously the sleeves are quite tight because that's the style of the boxy. And then the neckline is quite nice because it's not too large on the shoulders, but it's not too around the neck either. So yay for that, so happy. So I'm going to a knitting fair on the first week of December, and I will definitely wear it there. So yeah, so that's what I've been making, and I think that's it. As I said, I've got more things on my needles, but sadly I can't show it to you now because a lot of secret project, whatever. But I can show you what I bought recently. So the first thing that I bought in the same time as this one is that. It's the exact same yarn. I'm just going to show it to you. I've made the cakes. Here you are. So that's the same base. So the wool barn and yak DK. And I've got 3 skeins of this yarn, and it's to make a children version of the ENG sweater. Yay! So I have to do the size 2 years old for my little girl. She's gonna be 3 next week, but I don't think she's small, but yeah, she's still too small to wear a size 4 years old. Especially as it's a boxy anyway, it's gonna be bigger than her. So I'm gonna do the size 2 years old, and then in the same time I will grade the pattern to be able to release a children version, because I really try to do a children version as well as a women version. I like to do matchy outfits sometimes. Not even if it's not the same color, but you know, just I know people quite like that. So yeah, so I'll do that with this. And then what did I buy? So I went to Wool on the X, which is a shop in Exeter where I live, and I bought this yarn. So it's knit by numbers, double knit, so it's DK yarn, and that's from John Arbor Textile. So it was the first time they had John Arbor yarn for a while now, especially as John Arbor is in the north of Devon, sorry. So they carry this yarn. They've been carrying this yarn for quite a while in Wool on the X. But I've never tried it before, and I love this colorway. So I decided to buy 3 skeins of this one. The other skeins are upstairs. To make a design, probably. No idea when. I've got some idea on what I could design, but I decided to buy it. It's not a collaboration, and this way it's not pressuring on me. There's no pressure of when I have to do it, blah blah blah. It's just because I had already so many things on my plate, I didn't want to pressure myself too much with a new design. So yeah, I decided to buy the yarn. It wasn't too bad really. I think it was £12 for a skein, and I bought 3. and it's 250 meters for 100 grams. So it's supposed to be DK, but it's like between DK and sport, I would say, 250. Or it's a thin DK anyway, because usually DK is more like 212. This one is 212 meters, so 250 is quite nice. So it's more, in my opinion, it would be more sport than DK. So I should have enough to do what I want to do in this. So yeah, we'll see when I have time to do that. One of the lady who's working on Boulogne-X, Ella, she was knitting a hat the other day with this yarn, a colorwork hat, and it's so soft. It looks soft when it's like, you know, in a skein, but actually when you knit it, it was so soft. It was really enjoyable, and it's organically farmed, so that's quite good too. So that's what I bought, 3 of these, and then I received yarn support for designs for the future. This is the first skein, like the first one I received. It's from the French dyer Maison Corlaine. So they're based in Tours, which is like more like center of France, if you want. And yeah, it's their base Belle Époque. And it's 55% of BFL and 45% of silk. And the colorway is Aname. So it's this really nice beige, light pink, I would say. So I'm not really sure. I have an idea of a design, which would be more of a cardigan this time. And same, I asked the yarn with quite a high percentage of silk to have something that will drape nicely, so I need to work on that. Oh no! And then the other one that I received from them as well, so Maison Corlaine, still this way it's their base Bakewell. It's a very new base that they carry in their shop, and it's 100% BFL on fingering weight. When this one was DK, I think I forgot to say, this one was DK. This is fingering, and the colorway is Séraphine. So I'll try to show you a bit better. Here you are. So it's, oh my god, it's so nice. Really like it. BFL, Séraphine. So yeah, so again another design, but that won't be until probably next autumn, because I have already other things to do, and this is more of a darker autumn-ish color, so I'll see that this time. So that, what else did I buy? Then I treated myself to a little notion pouch, same that I bought in the shop in Boulogne-X. And then I bought the other day, I bought some stitch markers. That was so cute. Let me show them to you now. Look at that. So cute. So yeah, so it's quite nice because they're on a small ring like that, and then you've got all the stitch markers. So yeah, just a little treat. And then the other thing that I bought were sewing related. I really loved the new collection of Dear and Doe, and I decided to buy the Magnolia dress. Here it is. So it's a really nice dress with, look at this bow at the back. I'm just in love. I love everything with bow. It's just, you have to know that. I used to sew so much. So when I started my blog end of 2013, I was only doing sewing. And then I started knitting in 2015 when I was pregnant with my little girl. And then slowly with the years, knitting just took over my life, and this passion became my job. And now I'm sewing less and less, which is really bad because I really like sewing. But it's just, I don't know, it's time consuming. I feel like I really like sewing because you can have an outfit so quickly. Like I used to have, you know, sew dresses in a few hours. But you have to be on your own in the room, and I don't know, it's just, yeah, with a family life and a little girl, I don't know, I'm just knitting really. So it's a bit of a shame because I used to make all of my dresses because at the time I was wearing only dresses. But that's another thing, like since I started knitting, because I knit quite a lot of jumpers, I only wear jeans, and I don't know, I just find it easy when you work from home to be wearing jeans. When I was working in school, I was just wearing dresses every single day. I had one pair of jeans and I was wearing it maybe once a month or so. So yeah, but I need to sew more dresses really because I really like dresses. So yeah, so I'm definitely gonna make this one, but I'm thinking about making long sleeves because I think those ruffle sleeves are a bit hard to wear with a cardigan. Again, it depends on the type of fabric you're using. Definitely gonna use rayon fabric for that. I've got two very nice Atelier Brunette rayon fabric that I had for a few years. So I think I'm gonna use one of them to make the dress. So I'm gonna make the shorter version with the bow. But then for the sleeve, I don't really know which one I'm gonna make. Hard choice. Tough choice. So I'll see. I just need to like get on with it. Like start and, you know, cut my pattern or cut my fabric and then start sewing. Motivation. Anyway, the other thing I bought is this, a very, very cute fabric. It's a jersey fabric, but with fleece inside, a bit of fleece inside. So here it is. I bought that in London. I don't really know like why. I know why I bought it, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep it for my little girl or if I'm gonna use it for a gift for a baby. Like some of my friends had babies recently, so I need to look for like what to make for them. And this is, yeah, I found it really nice because it could be good as a Grand Ours jacket. So Grand Ours jacket is a pattern by Icati Couture. So Icati is a French brand. It's really nice. I'm going to put the link in the description box or on the article on my blog. And they have this very, very cute jacket for children, babies, and until I think maybe 6 years old. I can't remember. But I've done the size 3 years old for my little girl last year, and I absolutely love it. I've done 2 for gifts for babies, and it's just so cute. You've got little bunny or rabbit ears on the hood. It's just, I love it. So yeah, I might make one, or whether for my girl, whether for one of the baby who was born recently. But I like it, and it's glittery. Look at that, so cute. So I bought that in London when I went to see my cousin who lives in London. But I can't remember the name of the shop. I need to ask her where she took me. It was in a shop that I knew before, but it was a shop with a lot of fabric inside. So yeah, I need to ask her. And then I bought another jersey fabric, another knit fabric. And this time it's a stripy one, obviously. So blue and red. And in this, I would like to make my go-to pattern, my go-to dress, which is the Moneta dress from Colette Pattern. I really like this dress. I've made it a lot of times already. I've made normal version, I've made maternity versions. I just love it. That's one of the dress I was wearing the most when I was working in the school. It's comfy, it's nice, it's still a bit, depending on the fabric you're using, still a bit like, not classy, but it's not too casual either if you wear like nice ballerinas or something like that. and I really like this dress. But I'm making it a bit differently, so I make the manetta dress, but I use the plantain. I use the plantain neckline. So the plantain is a pattern from Dirando, and it's a free pattern on their website. And it's more of a round neckline, a bit like my Suzy sweater. It's the same type of neckline, and I think it fits me better than a boat neckline. So all of my manetta, if you go on my blog, in the sewing articles, you could see all my manettas, but they all have that round neckline from the plantain t-shirt and not the original pattern. So that's yeah. If I make another one, that's probably what I'm gonna do again. So yeah, again, motivation. Oh my god, it's really frustrating because in the same time I really want to sew, but I just don't have not the courage, because it's not a question of courage, but I'm just really lazy. So, but I think I'm not the only one. I think I'm not the only knitter who's quite lazy to sew. You'll tell me, please tell me in the comments. Anyway, that's what I bought, and I think that's it. Because as I said, I bought the yarn from the wool barn from my mom and sister, but I haven't received it yet. And yeah, that's it. Another thing I wanted to tell you was that last episode I did a little contest because I had a bit more than 4,000 followers on my YouTube channel, which is really nice, and I wanted to do a little contest. So I picked 3 winners. 2 of them will receive a project bag that I've made and a skein of yarn from Air de Lune, who's a dyer, French dyer who lives in Massachusetts. And then the 3rd one received a pattern from me for free, little gift. So I know it's not from the English podcast because they've contacted me already when I announced the winners in the French on the French podcast. So anyway, thank you if you did participate. Thank you if you did subscribe to my channel. We're now over 5,000 followers, well, subscribers. So I'm just really pleased. Thank you very much. And yeah, so I hope I'll be able to come back to you soon. As I said, end of November, early December, I'm going to France to a French fair where I'll see a lot of yarn, a lot of fabric. I'll try to be good because it's just before Christmas. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to record in December this time. Because I've got a pattern as well coming in December, so I could show that to you. I could show what I bought in Paris. And yeah, I'm sure I'll find things to chat about, that's for sure. Anyway, in the meantime, lots of kisses to everyone. Thank you for watching and speak to you soon. Bye!